Astrology time, and here we go. Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Friday, the 8th of August, the 8/8 date. Everybody calls this, well, and a lot of people in the astrological community call this the Lionsgate portal, and here we are, right? Veil is thin. We've got some messages coming down, messages coming within. They meet in the middle. We've already talked about this stuff. Today is going to be a very interesting day because our moon's in Aquarius all day long, and the moon is going to begin by activating the whole kite pattern that I described yesterday, and that is going to be the moon conjunct with Pluto in Aquarius. We have the sun, Saturn and Neptune in Aries, also conjunct. We have Uranus over in Gemini that's going to be trine with that at 120 degrees from Aquarius, the Aquarius gang, the moon and Pluto. We're also going to have Mercury joining this fray from 4 degrees of Leo. So that 4 degrees of Leo will sextile Uranus and will make it form a trine with both Saturn and Neptune. So, and then rounding all this energy out is Mars in Libra. So we've got some very, very curious energy here. Now, that moon goes by there. And just picture that kite formation with that little extra added, the addition of Mercury onto it. That makes another kind of one of those little small mini grand trines, right? That would be between Uranus, Mercury, and the planets in Aries. So that could also, if you had a point that was beyond that at the beginning of Sagittarius, you would have another kite. So you'd have a double kite formation. Perhaps that's why that initial moon passing into Sagittarius felt so momentous in some way, right? It was very noisy, and it was very like, hey, there's something here that's being missed. There's some kind of energy that's here. And let me tell you, Mars, okay, there's been some crazy talk about this crap because Mars is going to be opposite Saturn, okay? And people are saying, oh, it's war, it's this, it's that, right? First of all, let's think about it. Mars is aggressive, and Saturn is considered to be a malefic or bad, right? Firstly, there's no such thing as bad planets or a bad placement in astrology. It's cosmic energy that is misunderstood or it's used inappropriately. If you think about that for a second, today's keyword is energized because those trines are going to be energized by the moon passing into them and by Mars going direct with Saturn, and also finding that direct witness with Neptune as well. Now, our color is going to be lavender because we do have the moon in Aquarius, so we're going to go with that misty lavender look just for our color today. Now, today's energy is going to be off the charts. And it's off the charts for a couple of reasons, okay? Mercury's at 4 degrees Leo and is trine Mars. Okay? Also, right? 4 degrees Leo, trine Mars. No, not trine Mars. Trine the planets in Aries. Okay, it would be sextile Mars, correct? Because that would be Leo to Libra. Okay, so now, once we have that established, we've got that going on, we have that opposition between Mars and Saturn. Now, that opposition is a competition of sorts, right? How is this going to play out? Well, for the world, this is a time. Oh, we also have to remember that the sun is at 15 degrees of Leo. And what that's going to mean is that's going to mean that anybody that has planets that are at 15 degrees of the fire signs, or the fixed signs, for that matter, are going to find themselves being affected by this activation in some sort of way, this Lionsgate portal going on, because the sun has its own energy. It's going to be unique to this whole situation, and that's going to affect our outlook on it and how we actually perceive this and how we're moving forward. Look, we'll get into it a little bit later. For the world, for the moon deal type of thing, right, the mundane astrology aspect, this is a time of double activation with that kite, okay? And it's got an emphasis on communication, a shifting basis for causality, as well as, just as my thing dies and I can't really see it, and a renewed desire for peaceful resolution. Where does that come from? Saturn and Neptune in Aries, that initial point, right? That's causality. That's what happened at the beginning, right? There's a revolution going on. There's a shifting communication there's a shifting type of emphasis on communication because we have air signs involved. We have Uranus in Gemini, and we have Pluto in Aquarius. There's some stuff that can happen. This can be groundbreaking. This can be change the whole landscape of everything, right? Will it change it for the worst? Hard to say. You can flip a coin. Uranus is involved, right? I prefer to be an optimist. I think that Mars in Libra is a strong enough influence, and it's also the ruler of Aries, right? We have Mars, the ruler of Aries, in peaceful Libra, not feeling very comfortable, but hey, we can give this stuff a shot, affecting the planets that are in Aries, right? That causality is open for discussion. It's open to agreement. Maybe we can make something peaceful out of this and harmonious, right? Hey, we can always hope, right? Call me a dreamer. All right. Pluto in Capricorn is no longer honored, right? Pluto's in Aquarius. Capricorn, that was old causes for things. That was the greed that was driving things. That was wanting the material gain by taking things by force, right? Those old reasons for wars that are still raging. Why would something flare up? Let's resolve it. Let's put some of this energy to work to resolve it. Think about it. It's time to change willingly, or you will be changed. This is going to go personally too, and the reason why this is going to go personally is it's the same is going to go for us, right? We have to change, or we will be changed. We got to be willing to change. It's done. Like I hinted to at the beginning, yesterday was about turning the page. Today, you're going to realize that was a whole new chapter. Okay? What is it that's going to be happening? You can either accept this, or you're going to have it be visited on you, and you're going to have to realize that it's changed. Okay? Now, there's going to be major announcements made today. And it's going to be surprising ones. I don't know what it is, and I really can't say, but I just know that there's something that's changing. There's something cosmic that's in the air, and that begins with us, right? Look, we need to overcome the things that held us back. That's what that whole Mars-Saturn thing is telling us, right? We need to make our inner peace with ourselves and make peace with what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're bringing into the world, those things at the 0-degree points of Aries for us. That's our master creative point. I told you probably last March, April, when Neptune first started to make her ingress into Aries, that this was a change, okay? And it's a change in arts. Now, a lot of people ignore this point, but if you really think about it, this is when classical became modern. This is the folks that were born during this period with Neptune in Aries are the people that brought you abstract paintings. So, they moved from beyond. Impressionism came up during that time, right? And that was a total departure from what classical art was. Music had started changing into that romantic period, and it started to get into the impressionist period. And then from the impressionists, we went into the modern era of music, right? We're not talking art now. Art was impressionist back when it first happened back in the 1860s. We are looking at a totally different change in culture, right? Music genres will change. This stuff's going to change. It's going to happen, right? Technology is more involved. There's more AI. There's more BS, right? You've got the two technological wings of that kite out there. You're going to see changes. And remember, that kite is going to be there for all the planets going through it at the base of it, where Mars is occupying right now, and into the next year. So we're going to go in a whole nother cycle around. And the only difference is that those planets that are retrograde are going to go back into the signs that they came from. So you're going to have Uranus go back into Taurus. You're going to have Pluto is the exception to this, because Pluto's not going to go back into Capricorn. Pluto's in Aquarius and stay. All right, but Pluto takes so long to go through it, it's just going to be sitting at that point, right, for next year. Saturn and Neptune will go back into Pisces and then go back into Aries in February of next year. This is some very, very potent potential stuff. It's going to bring some stuff to the front that we haven't quite thought about or realized yet. Picture it in your mind, and it will happen, okay? That's the power of this portal as well. We have to do what we have to do. This is what's coming. My personal situation, it's changed. It's changed. Turning the page, opening a new chapter, all that stuff, right? For this right here, we're just beginning a new chapter together. We're beginning a new chapter in astrology that speaks to everybody, that takes in all these different disparate elements and makes it understandable for everyone. I talk about some pretty advanced concepts here, but that's because you're ready for it. That's because you want to hear it. That's why you're here. Okay? Now, with that being said, you have to understand that you are one with spirit and the cosmic consciousness. That's what this turning the page is, right? There's no longer a separation. You got to flow accordingly, and you'll thrive, okay? Bring it into your life. Bring it into your daily. daily-astrocat.com. Now it's time to really tap into this persistent energy that's initiatory, revolutionary, creative, and collaborative, and exactly what the world writ large needs, and it's what we all need, right? Come together, folks. Let's go. It's going to be fun, right? I've been having a lot of fun with it. I appreciate and love every single one of you. This has been fantastic. Now, in 1966, the South African Broadcasting Network, or whatever you want to call it, bans the Beatles. They don't want to play them anymore because John Lennon said something cheeky, that their band was more popular than Jesus. What, more popular than Jesus? Oh, that's not good, right? All right. So they didn't like that, and they stopped playing Beatles songs. Didn't keep them from being popular, though. And our birth is in 1902. It's Paul Dirac. He's an English physicist and a quantum electrodynamics. Right. He's a physicist. He won the Nobel Prize in 1933 for quantum electrodynamics. He's born in Bristol, England, and he died in 1984. He contributed to the early development of both quantum mechanics and quantum electrodynamics. Already said that 3 times now. 3 times is a charm, right? Quantum electrodynamics. Dirac is also famous for the Dirac equation, which predicted the existence of antimatter. Scary stuff, right? All right. So anyway, thank you once again. Let's sum it up. Color is lavender, and the key word is energized, because we are energized by all of this. I hope you feel energized. I hope you go out in there and seize the day, right? Let's do this. You know it's done. You can even be passive about it, right? Because those ideas are out there. Flow. Let's get the ideas going. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's get it going. Put it in the comments down there. Tell me what it means to you to feel unified with this spirit of how we feel and how we wish to present and how we want to unify that vision. Today is a 6. Happy astrocatting.